Hi, I'm Joe Clark at ComicsOnline.
Let's talk about the Catalyst War. It has continued to evolve. You're up to the final 2 issues. Everything's gone to hell. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. We knew where this was going, so it's fun to... It's sort of like setting up a long chain of dominoes, and then you finally get to poke it, and everything gets to fall down. It feels great.
So Marshall's had a particularly rough time. I mean, Marshall and Nathan have had a rough time. You blew up Chicago in one universe and killed a bunch of people in the other one, so... You know, it's a tough day to be Radiant Black.
Yeah, you got to keep the stakes high to keep the storytelling interesting. And it was very personal though. Like we didn't take that too lightly. I wanted to, if you go through the issue where Chicago blows up, those are a lot of places very close to my actual home. The actual given addresses and stuff. So really try to keep it weighted, try to keep it serious, but also have fun with the storytelling within that,
Did Lockport survive?
Lockport was messed up in both timelines
Okay.
in the very beginning of the Catalyst War, before the ships even showed up. So they're rebuilding as Lockport is rebuilding in real life, as there's been a big collapse at the high school, and in real life, and they're trying to get the money to fix all that up.
As long as Embers is still there, we're fine. But I would love to hear the process. I mean, I know this is taking a little bit longer than you guys expected for the release, but as far as just the keeping the 2 timelines in one place, how have you guys been balancing that to make sure the story continues to flow, but also moves things along, for each of the respective, the A and B?
Yeah, I think within that question, the answer is almost within that, where it's like, while we were really planning on getting from A to B, while we were planning on really making sure that these stories were both compelling in their own right, and slight spoiler, now you see there are 2 essential halves of one story coming together here. That's part of why it's taken a little longer, because we do take that very seriously, and our guiding principle through this, has been being aware that this story will live on past the sales cycles, that we're going to have this collected, and we have big plans for after this for a while, so that trade will exist in perpetuity. And so with that, keeping everything organized and clear, and really trying to tell exactly the story that we want to tell while we navigate our own lives has been really fulfilling, I think.
Well, let's talk about the other project you have. Congratulations on Deep Cuts.
Thank you so
getting
much.
An Eisner nom.
Just thankful for the nomination, honestly,
It's well deserved. I
you.
think that you guys have done an incredible job crafting the anthology. Kyle told me about it a while ago, that it had been in the works, and I was really interested to see how you were going to do the time jumps, how you were going to capture the magic of music, in comic form. It's not something we really see. So, hearing that, okay, this is something Kyle's going to take on, it sounded like an organic fit. But with your music background in particular, I would love to hear what was so important for you as a creator that you wanted to capture within these stories.
Absolutely. I feel that sometimes stories about jazz, especially if they're not coming from people who've done a lot of studying of jazz, there's a very superficial gloss, end up being about saviors of jazz or just great artists within jazz. And for me, that's not what I'm interested in, at least. And what is really meaningful to me is the fact that jazz is this great chain of artists and creatives, and some people who are very into entertainment, some people who are almost religiously devoted to the spiritual side of music, people who didn't really engage with the spiritual side but with the artistic side, and all these different types of people who are warm mentors, people who are very selfish, non-empathetic individuals. And but it doesn't matter. It's all part of one great, big, expansive American art project that is improvised. Also, it's about being in the moment and being mindful of that. And I think there's parallels not just to jazz, but to a lot of different creative art forms, and just being a human, being part of other families and connections and traditions and businesses, maybe, you know. And that's what was really important to me. So that we tell these stories that at a surface level are about failures, about people who have goals and they don't meet those goals much of the time. But we have this final capstone story that shows that each part has been integral to this one large, greater story. It's all had meaning. Everybody has their humanity, and yeah, we really did the research to make sure that it had some verisimilitude. You know, that it didn't feel hackneyed or forced. It was really based in the historical time periods. That's how we handled those jumps, and that's how we handled the story.
To the hypocrites and the corrupt, the swindlers, the parasites, all those who take from their fellow man, this message is for you. For too long, this country has been choked by corruption and injustice. The vulnerable have been oppressed by the rich and powerful, who abuse the laws for personal gain at the expense of everyone under them. In the summer of 2022, I embarked on my mission to expose them, to hold them accountable, to bring change. You may think you know what happened next, but you have been deceived. You have been told that I am responsible for murder, that new laws could protect you, that I am dead. You have been told many things, except the truth. Until now. What follows is a video record, so that you no longer have to rely on what you are told. No one escapes justice, not even me. I am no one, and this is my story. To the hypocrites and the corrupt, the swindlers, the parasites, all those who take from your fellow man, because, like all monsters, you believe yourself safe in the shadows. This message is for you. Is coming, where all monsters will answer for their transgressions. No one is above the law, and I am no one.